The Master Tavern Keeper's History of the Old World. And so, Ironbreakers it is then.
Oh yes, that's the one. The ones who have absolutely nothing to do with baking bread, it seems.
Indeed. Although they're not opposed to wolfing down a loaf or two to accompany a few slabs of meat and a bevy or three of ale.
Oh yeah, but who doesn't enjoy that, Master Tavern Keeper?
Ha! Amongst the dwarves, I'd say, not a single one. But anyway, if I may continue. Now, I'm pretty sure that I've not mentioned this yet, but it was, in point of fact, one of my fellow sailors on the old whaling ship, the Ormond Barden, the well-travelled dwarf Drogor, who always pops into the tavern when he's in port, who actually told me all about Ironbreakers.
Oh, no, just wait to crow the cock there, Septimus. I have met him, haven't I?
Why, yes, you most certainly have, Master Alchemist. As I recall, you two drank together once. Although, that was a time you got so plastered that you slept over there, in the corner. So I'm not surprised you're a bit fuzzy on the details.
Oh, now, that does sound like me, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, it does. But I just remembered something too. Wasn't this Drogar someone who you mentioned earlier, Master Tavern Keeper? Wasn't he the one who told you about the rats of Clan Rictus, wasn't it?
By Ranald's dice, there are no flies on you, Heinrich. You are quite correct. Now, old Drogor belongs to the clan Norgrimling, an ancient mining clan originally hailing from the fallen dwarf hold of Carrick Eight Peaks. The clan actually became scattered across the entirety of the dwarf realm following the eventual fall of the hold, but I won't go into any more detail on that now. Let's save that tale for another time. Drogo, before becoming a sailor, had actually been a Norgrimling ironbreaker in the army of Barak Var, the hold of his birth. After that, he went on what he called his grand tour, travelling to and then both working and living in numerous dwarf holds all across Karazanka, and no doubt someone who I will mention again. Anyway, he told me all about his time as an ironbreaker as we sat together drinking in the Stone Axe of Tal Tavern.
Oh, yeah, not the one in the Nordland port of Norden?
The very same. I thought you might know it, Heinrich.
Look, so what's this Norden place then? A port on the Sea of Claws. Somewhere the Master Tavern Keeper described as a slate-roofed port of slums and villainy, Master Alchemist. Oh, now that's just rude. Is it true? Oh, yeah, unreservedly so.
Anyway, the Axe, as it's oft called, is a famous little drinking establishment that I wholeheartedly recommend if you're in port there. They've a fine selection of spirits, beers and ales from across the old world and beyond.
Oh, yeah, I have actually been drinking in there myself with my grandpapa once or twice. Although he prefers the flotsam and jetsam.
Ah, yes, as you told us earlier. I've never actually been in the flotsam.
Oh, yeah. Now that is surprising. Why?
Ah, well, the reason is that I once played a game of cards with the former owner. He lost so badly and was so angry that after leaving the gambling den, he immediately dropped down dead. I got a lifetime ban from the flotsam after that, even though I had not once set foot upon its threshold. A shame. Especially since you mentioned that it was there that your grandfather actually met Marco Colombo. Obviously, I've now a great urge to go and visit it. Anyway, I'll crack on. It was A thunder-blighted, rainy evening, as I recall. A storm raging wildly out in the Sea of Claws, as Drogor and I drank and talked. Ironbreakers. The Stone Axe of Tal, Norden, 1551. What? You were an Ironbreaker in Barrack Var, the dwarf port? I didn't even know they had an army.
Not so loud, lad. You don't know who might be listening in. But yes, I was, me young scallywag. I cut my teeth on the Undrin anchor around the hold.
Oh, so you fought in the underway, not on the field of battle then?
We fought in both spheres of warfare, lad. But for every skirmish and battle I took part in overground, I fought a dozen more underground.
Overground? Underground? I'm as confused as can be. What actually is the role of the Ironbreakers then?
A fine question, my young scallywag. The answer is simple, really, though. The task of the Brotherhood of Ironbreakers, we call ourselves the Angthraga, by the way, has always primarily been to patrol and defend the ancient subterranean underway. That is our task, and that is our duty. Once, this was a prestigious thing, purely prestigious, sacred but safe. Now though, with the Undrin being in ruins, and filled with the dangerous denizens of the deep, as well as the ratkin and the grubby, it is as dangerous a thing as any warrior can take upon their shoulders, and an arduous duty. No less honourable, though. But, my young scallywag, though our duty may be unchanged, the change in the fortunes of Karazanka, stemming from the tragedies that played out during the time of woes, have warped the world about us.
I'm sorry. How do you mean?
Listen, here is an easy-to-understand example for you, lad. The ceremonial dress and armour of ancient times, quite a dandy outfit if I say so myself, was long ago eschewed for the caress of Gromril. We now head into the Ungdrin, clad head to toe in a full suit of Gromril plate, a runic axe in our hand and a shield upon our arm. This rune-engraved heavy armour that we Ironbreakers wear remains a badge of honour, like our uniform of yore, but, more importantly, it is absolutely a necessity, as we have to face off against the hazards of the underway.
Ah, so there's a lot of fighting underground then.
Are you having a laugh, me young scallywag? There ain't nothing but fighting in the Undrin. It's no longer the safe conduit to anywhere and everywhere it once was. It is now the front line of a war. A war where the very safety of every dwarf hold, of the Dowie race itself, is at stake. If we take so much as a breath and let our defences down for but a moment, our foes will overwhelm us and take all we hold dear. Hearth, home, and hoard.
I had no idea.
Ah, it's Dowie business, lad. Why would you know? But I'm letting you know now. When the doom of dwarves and men comes, it'll not be the threat from the north that'll seal the deal. It'll be the foes beneath our feet, for they are legion. The underway is a labyrinth of endless tunnels and mine shafts beyond counting that once delved deep into rich seams of gems and ores, but now mostly is abandoned, many having collapsed, becoming bottomless dark pits, whilst others harbour monsters, night goblins, skaven, trolls and evils we do not speak of.
But my uncle's friend Hans Voigt told me that it has not been completely left to rot.
The manling from Karazakarak. Ah, yes. He is correct. But areas and tunnels we still use have had to be sealed off, each costing much in the way of blood. Mostly the blood of we Ironbreakers. It was we who built the gates that keep our enemies out. But a gate alone is nothing, for each can still be opened. So it is we Ironbreakers again who must both man each and patrol beyond their safety, heading down to the deepest and least visited tunnels and passages below in order to seek out any who might be gathering to attack us.
By Ronald's dice, I had neither realized nor truly appreciated what Ironbreakers really do at all.
Think not on it, lad. It's dowie business. But, as I was saying, our duty makes us Angthraga the best tunnel fighters, I guess is the term, in the old world. And every Ironbreaker has killed more rats, goblins, trolls, and much worse than any, well, save perhaps the most long-in-the-tooth slayers, that is.
But you're not fighting alone like Slayers do.
Quite right, lad. Often we fought in tight formations, completely blocking up a tunnel, with each warrior's shield protecting the dwarf and his left, as our right arms hacked down our enemies to the fore. An implacable, living wall, Gromwell hard, pushing back those that lurk in the dark. It was not always the case, though. Our book of tactics is thick. Another tool in our arsenal are the large, broad tunnel shields we occasionally wielded. Each is as tall as a dwarf, with a vision slit cut into it for us to fire our pistols or crossbows through. These shields too could completely block up narrow tunnels, providing a temporary wall of Gromrel in our foe's face. That was until reinforcements could be mustered to lead the fight back, or when the enemy numbers were great, explosive charges could be set to collapse the tunnel. I can also remember us using them to herd more numerous, smaller enemies, things like Grobby and Ratkin and the like, into larger chambers where we could ambush and slay them much more easily.
But what about larger foes?
Some of us carried something called cinder blast bombs, explosives that you can hold in the palm of your hand, whose explosion in such confined spaces could tear even the thick skin of a stone troll to shreds. Yet another tactic we employed, lad, was to use long-handled mattocks, like flat-headed pickaxes, you know.
Ah, yes, I know what you mean.
Well, lad, because they were so long, we could use them to attack bigger foes from behind our shield wall. In the narrowest of corridors, just a pair of us could take on something like a troll, with one dwarf holding up the shield at the front and the other striking with the mattock. All in all, we had a different maneuver for each and every situation, which we would practice constantly when not fighting. Deciding which to employ was up to our Ironbeard, our leader. I can still hear his voice in my head from time to time, ordering us to change position and formation. And Thrager, adopt the box of iron on me. And Thrager, steel square. And so forth. As I said earlier, lad, it wasn't all fighting underground, though. More often than we liked, we were called upon to fight alongside the rest of the throng of the hold. We were effective in the battle line, of course, but it is not what we were trained for. We used to call such duties the Iron Price.
What's that mean?
It meant the cost that the hold might pay by having us on some battlefield rather than protecting the depths and gateways below our home. As much as we were watchful for any potential threats that might assail us from the underway, so too were our enemies watchful of our movements, especially our absence. There we go, lad. That's enough talk. We've a full day of tonguing tomorrow, so we best rest. Whale meat does not cut itself up, alas. And if we slacken up the pace even for a moment tomorrow, then, no doubt, Pietra will start boring us to death with Gospodarian proverbs on the importance of a good night's rest. And we don't want that now, do we, lad?